What's up everyone, this is Cher talking, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be talking about the general tier list made by me, SaGa, with help from the community. Thanks so much SaGa for helping me out with this. Without you, I don't know if I'll be able to. And we made some changes, we updated all the recent styles in the game, and I want to talk about the changes so you guys can see if you agree or not, and we can lead some discussions into this game. Some characters get better, sometimes get weaker within time, depends on the content, depends on how the game develops. And we changed some characters, starting with Red and Coppelia. Many people were saying that they were not triple S tier anymore, and this has accurate, and it makes sense because, well, Red is still pretty powerful, he can evade easily, but his damage is lacking now, especially for boss fights and things like that. I remember comparing Red with this version of Xeno, because Xeno has light speed that he got from Global X as a style that everyone had access to, and Xeno was doing like almost double the damage with 4 BP, meaning that, well, sometimes you may not have enough BP, but you may not even need to reach that much. Xeno was helping more even without buffing his main status, that is dexterity. Even if Red keeps buffing his agility, his damage is pretty far behind. Also, Coppelia is a very similar character, so she also got a downgrade. She has a very good turn 1 fast attack, but she just kills herself. She cannot be used after that, but has an STR debuff that works pretty well on a lot of content. Even through this may age in a few, it's still useful, but I feel like she needed to be on front of head and still deserves a very high placement, but not triple S tier anymore. Well, we did some changes here on the triple S part, and we got Global X Fight and Press here on tops because she's, well, very useful in many scenarios. Well, raids are becoming stronger and stronger, and bosses are killing you with a single hit. So if Empress is here, she can save you many times and increase your score. Of course, you have to do this manually, but even if you don't need to do this manually, she deals good enough damage and decreases the damage that the party receives with her passive. So, because of hard challenges and being able to be very useful on manual, she deserves to be here since, yeah, after the buffers, she's one of the most important characters right now. We also have Leon here. Well, he's damaged, but also brings Steel Blade Light. And Steel Blade Light is the reason why Mirza is still here, even if he's on the end. I know some people may not agree with this, but recently the bosses are doing just too much damage that is hard to survive without having something like Ray of Life or Steel Blade Light. Steel Blade Light is still the only AoE heal with high potential that does not cost LP. Sometimes you may not need to use it if you have this UDX match arc, because she has a Shining Glory attack that can heal everyone 2 times because it costs 2 OP. But for longer fights, maybe you still will need Mirza and Leon in some scenarios. Of course, there are bosses that you can just debuff so that you can avoid or evade, but this will not work all the time. We are still seeing different content, and the last raid bosses were removing our buffs on turn 2. Meaning that sometimes we'll not be able to evade or decrease too much of the damage, and healing may be a good idea. So Matriarch is also here because of that Shining Glory attack. I know that she's not better than the first Matriarch, that's for sure, but even then you can use this Matriarch for farming. She works pretty well with damage, and many scenarios where you want to buff your cards before attacking, she works pretty fine. So that's why she's here. I believe that the third Matriarch may overcome her in the future, but right now the first Matriarch buffs are much more important than the Matriarch number 3. But this will change because, like I was saying, healing will become more important down the road, and she buffs the status that increases the healing. So this Matriarch with Steel Blade Light or with Ray of Life from this Yunzin or Mercifing just makes it much more powerful, depending on the case, depending how many turns you need to kill a boss, on how many waves you have, these things will matter more. I also have this Princess White Rose Halloween edition here on the top because she can buff defensive status. With 8 PP she cleanses all status elements and can buff this status, and she is very much complete. We don't need any limited inheritance with her. I do believe that she will still be more useful than this one, although this may change in the future because of Matriarch 3 buffing the heal status for the party. Okay, then after that we have the third Matriarch, pretty powerful, and also with that buff that increases will, increases dexterity, love and charisma, that will become better and better. After that, we have Jo, still one of the best turn 1 fast attackers in the game. I must say that she just competes with Urpina now. This Urpina is just so powerful that she can be used in many different scenarios. The good thing about Jo is that she also works well besides farming, while this Urpina here needs to stay on full HP, and at least she can do also Mirage Blade 2 times, has been useful in many farming scenarios recently. And after that, we have the Global X Rock Bouquet. She got a decrease in her ranking because of debuffing is not working so well anymore, but she's still pretty high on the list. Cycle Boom is amazing, but we did give her an eye, meaning that to get up here, she needs inheritance from the Raging Squid attack. That attack is amazing on raid bosses. Sometimes it helps you reach their souls for your missions to be cleared, like reaching 700,000 damage. She also works well on Naoto, very nice character. But after that comes something here. Gustav, the new version of Gustav, is now placed on a triple S. When I made his review, I was thinking about only double S, and that he will be placed here like the first damage dealer for double S. But after some discussion and thinking, I believe that he deserves to be on the top, even if this situation changes in the future. Right now, the buffs that they made to this Gustav makes him just so powerful. Turn 1 damage is amazing, and his AoE cycle is also pretty nice. Alongside that, he buffs STR for the party, allowing him to become good even when he gets outclassed. That's the same case with Leon. Even if you're not using him for damage, you can just add him to a party and he just makes everyone work well. That is the same case with Gustav, and he will always contribute to damage. In raids where you just cannot survive more than 2 turns, this Gustav will do enough damage from turn 1. And he beats now Rofas and Rook in potential if you just want damage and survive. The two other characters have a little gimmick on them, they still do a lot of damage, but I think that Gustav needs to be on the front. Then after that we have Saruin. Saruin is just so preeminent recently, can be used in many farming scenarios. He has a fast turn 2 attack. I keep using his normal attack more than the fast attack because it's just so good. And I'm pretty sure that people will use him in boss fights as well. And then for last we have the Mirza. Like I said, Steel Blade Light will become important again because of just so high damage on bosses. Now we'll get also the Ward Tower return. That means that either him or Leon maybe use it. If it's not enough to use UDX Matriarch. But everyone has all 3, so they sometimes just have one of them, and I must say that they are still important. And here on the second row, we have the same characters as before. Nothing changed so much here. We have Bertrand here. It's just that Bertrand is a turn 2 fast attacker. It's not so easy to use like Red and Coppelia. But Xenon is becoming just so much of a powerhouse. I believe that he's even better than Pyro Emperor, maybe. Not entirely sure. We also added the new Gustav. I believe that he just cannot beat Luna Fulgor Madeline because he does not do as much damage, although Heat and Slash is more common than Slash and Lightning. Yeah, we don't have that many characters besides Madeline and Khalid. I'm also thinking about the future about Commando Emilia. She's pretty useful, very easy to use on 2 different cycles, but maybe it's time for her to receive a downgrade as well. Katarina is here because she's very good on raids and Menos, but besides that, on Naoto after turn 3, she breaks her cycle. It's not so easy to use her. Also, I have been using a lot of Fornews. I don't know about you guys if he deserves a higher grade or not, but pretty useful for 3 different types of damage. Hilda was placed a little lower because she does not have a 2 nuke cycle just like Katarina has. She relies on RNG and this may break, but she's also very nice for the recent raids. And I guess that's much about most of the characters. We have also Torpe here. He is okay for now, I must say. He works well to help other squads, but not exactly a huge damage dealer himself, but easy to rerun on Naoto. The newest Madeline just so good that she deserved a double S grade. And also, we upgraded Shendu, yes, because this guy here deserves. Although on the first, it seemed like it was an overkill to bring him together with Matriarch and Nala's daughter. Right now, the game is just asking too much. Before we get the new accuracy update, it was just so hard to hit the enemy, so sometimes we were trying to evade instead. And using those 3 together will allow you to evade. I ran Wastelands 5 with this team and it worked. Yes, it's overkill, and I needed to go overkill in order to beat that content because it was just too much. So because of that, he's here. We also downgraded a little of human female since now we got so many blunt attackers. She still has her role, she's still kinda unique, so that's why she's here. Also, we have Assault on this position, and I guess that's much of it. This nade art's pretty nice. I believe that it's kind of a tie with Minerva, depending on the situations. Like Minerva is better for physical damage, while nade art's better for magical. But they can still be used in different scenarios just fine. And I guess those are much of the role, and I want your suggestions. If you guys think that I am wrong, or if we need to change something, please say here in the comment section, or reply to the Reddit thread that will be open to discuss this tier list. We are still in the process of making a second one for different roles, but that one takes so much time that we are doing on free time and it's still not ready. Hopefully it will be in the near future, but so far this is everything we have. Don't forget that we still have the details here on the style details that covered some tidbits about the characters, why they are strong and what they can do, and also some information about the rotation on manual or on auto, and that's much about it, guys. Thanks so much for watching this video. Don't forget to click the like button, and if you want to support the channel, there are links in the description. I hope to see you soon in the next one. Bye.